Good afternoon everyone, this is 12 o'clock news.
I'm Ryan Stevens.
And I'm Jodie Wyatt. Here are the main stories. David Davis, Brexit Secretary, stated the Queen will be signing the bill at 11 a.m. today. Mr Davis told the MPs on the EU committee that its officials had so far made no assessment. Opinions on the EU exit bill signed today, that's going to happen at 11.
Well, I was very much a Remain person, so I'm devastated by the whole issue of Brexit. I think it's a really retrograde move for the UK. I think there's going to be really serious long-term repercussions for the economy. And I'm very unhappy about it, just in principle.
Yeah. Do you think you obviously think we made the wrong decision. Do you think it will affect our trade, like, majorly, or do you think...
I think it will have a massive impact on trade, and I think that perhaps in the short term they might be able to manage the initial transition, but I think in terms of long term, multinational companies that have been based here because of our relationship with the EU, I think we're going to see some really serious problems, particularly with areas of the country where the local economy is dependent on employment in those industries.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for your
welcome.
opinion. Thank you. Also, another story is a 9-year-old boy suffered from an asthma attack and died after doctors were given 11 chances to save his life.
Hi, my name is Chelsea Stout. Today I'm talking about a 9-year-old chess champion being rejected by hospital. 2 years ago, there was a news article published about a 9-year-old chess champion suffering with chronic asthma. He was turned away from the Royal Free Hospital 11 times. 2 days before his death, he was admitted to hospital after suffering a coughing and vomiting fit. Due to the doctors assuming he wasn't in a hysterical, they admitted him. Okay? So, what is your opinion on the NHS?
In general,
Yeah.
I think the NHS is generally a good thing. I think it's there for people when they need it, and that's something that's really important.
Okay. Do you think the NHS is getting worse or improving?
I don't think it's getting worse. I think that they're under a lot of pressure, and I think that's because lots of people don't use it in the way it should be used.
Okay. Do you think the hospital could have done anything to help the boy instead of rejecting it?
I think they absolutely didn't act in the right way, and the outcome was really, really terrible. And I think we need to look at how AMEs are used so that situation didn't happen again.
Thank you.
That's okay.
Good day, Fanny Mackay with your news. 9-year-old boy, schoolboy and chess champion Michael O'Reilly has died on August 25, 2015. Doctors have missed 11 chances to save his life. Young Michael suffered with asthma, violent coughing fits and vomiting all his life. He has been dismissed from hospital several times. 5 days after being let out of Royal Free Hospital in Hampstead, North London, Michael collapsed and never regained conscience. His mum felt that her son should have got treatment instead of being dismissed as hysterical. Dr. Mark Levi, leading asthma expert, declared in the newspaper, severe asthma should be treated by a specialist, somebody with expertise. Over to Holly with the Banbury weather.
Today, Banbury is approached with fog and winds travelling at 9 miles per hour. Temperature is currently rising to its highest of 11 degrees and will be cloudy tonight with a low of 3.
Schools have been warned that they need to do more focus on mental health due to child safety.
A story that links to what Ryan said about mental health and children was that a teenager died last week after being bullied on the internet.
Storm to blow away balmy cell. Britain baked in the hottest day of the year yesterday, sending flocks of people to beaches and parks, but forecasters were quick to point out that this was the calm before the storm and that Britain needed to be ready for the battle at the weekend.
We had an interview with Richard Fahey.
Since Cheltenham is currently on the go, we're taking a look at Richard Fahey and his career in horse training. He's been training mainly flat ground racing horses since his time as a jockey and has been doing so since 1993. In the last 20 years, he's become one of the UK's leading trainers with over 200 horses in his collection. In total, he has 235 winners, a massive number, resulting in the success he now has today. We had a chance to interview him. Here is the clip.
Hi, happy Gunnar.
Hello. Hi.
Good.
So the question, Richard, was what made you first want to start training horses?
Oh, I don't know. First, I'm an ex-jockey. I left school very early at 15. Realistically speaking, uneducated, nothing else to do, so it's a route to go, you know.
So for young people wanting to be a horse trainer, is there any advice that you could give to them to become a much more advanced horse trainer?
It's very difficult. Presuming knowledge of horses definitely should be a huge help. But training is not just all about knowledge in horses. It's huge help. Don't get me wrong. To be a horse trainer, you've got to have a you're dealing with a lot of people. I mean, we could have maybe 1,000 owners. You know, some fellas at 5%, 10%. So man management and dealing with people is huge help in breeding. But I think you need a knowledge in horses as well.
There's lots of racing colleges that you can go to.
Oh, here we go. I'm getting prompted again here. Tell who's the boss here. There is racing colleges, as Amy just said there. There's the racing school, but that's more or less for jockeys and to get into the industry. There's a thing Gadol can do, which is Sheikh Mohammed, which is the the biggest owners in the world. They're very supportive of our industry, and they take about 24 students every year. It's a 2-year course, and that's a fantastic course. Whether that would make you trainer, I don't know, but it's a course that could get into the breeding side. It could get you in all sorts of side of our industry. It's a huge industry.
During recent times, Donald Trump has made it his mission to close off the airlines from 6 major Muslim countries. Here is some political views from a teacher from North Oxfordshire Academy. So recently, sir, Donald Trump has put through another travel ban, wanting a 90-day travel ban from 6 major Muslim countries, and I think it was a 100-day travel ban for refugees. What is your opinion on this?
Well, I think that firstly that his ban is misleaded or misguided rather. I think he's trying to appeal to a certain demographic within the United States population. I think part of his rise to power is because the culture in the States has kind of developed to become a sort of, you can do anything you want to do and it doesn't matter who you kind of trample on to get what you want, as long as you get what you want kind of thing in the end. The sort of back end of capitalism. And as a result, you've now got a guy who's got no political experience, very little concern for anybody else in the rest of the world other than his own interests. And as a result, he's put bans on people from some sort of key Muslim countries coming into his country, when there are lots of incredibly wonderful Muslim people in the world who have absolutely nothing to do with terrorism at all and show far more love and compassion than he does. As well as that, he has said all sorts of sexist remarks about women. But I have to say, one of the beautiful things about the whole situation is the way that people have come together. So almost sometimes you need something rubbish to happen for you to see the good come out of it. And so one of the beautiful things that I've seen that's come out of this whole horrible situation, because when he got into power, I mean, it was a difficult sort of decision anyway, he would kind of get there, but since he's kind of come into power, you know, you could sort of be of the frame of mind, oh, doom and gloom, the world has ended, let's just quickly hide for the next 4 years until the next president can be chosen. But actually, I think one of the beautiful things that's happened is that people have actually rallied together, people have come together, and you see how like you've got all of these you've got all of these women's rights rallies coming up across all the cities in the world, women coming together and saying, no, this is wrong, like this is not right, you should not treat women like this. And also people who are not Muslim at all coming together and saying, we support our Muslim brothers and sisters. You guys are part of this world. You are human. You are people. You are valuable. And even though this decision is, I think, entirely misguided and just trying to play to a very conservative Republican populace in the United States, it is an amazing thing that people have come together and it's actually building bridges for a lot of people that are actually thinking rather than breaking them down.
Out of all this has happened, there has been a huge protest by a lot of American citizens about the travel ban, and a judge has again stopped his attempts at a travel ban.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this?
I think it's awesome. I think it's absolutely brilliant. There's no human compassionate response that's better than saying this is wrong, this is unjust. Let's make sure that our laws uphold what's right, rather than have some bloke who's got a power trip. And I'm sad to say that's what the problem is. He doesn't like being told what to do. It's one of the reasons that he's got to where he is, because he's going back to the kind of capitalist thing. If I fight hard enough and I crush as many people as I can, I'll get what I want. This kind of egocentric sort of lifestyle that he's got, I love seeing the fact that the law is being upheld by people who believe in right, in good, and a real sense of morality, rather than this kind of this kind of idea that I need to be in charge and everyone needs to do what I say, which is just warped, you know.
Thank you for your time.
You're most welcome.
This is BBC News. Thank you for listening. I'm Jodie Wyatt.
And I'm Ryan Stevens.